Hi everyone, I'm Gail Thompson and I'm back with a quick Sunday tip, and this time we're going to color vellum. It's simple, you don't need any extra supplies or tools, and it can be done very quickly and have a beautiful effect. So let's get started. Today we're going to use the stained glass greeting stamp set by Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to speed this up because I fool around with this quite a while. But I'm trying to line up the piece. That's a Gina K acrylic with, it has measurements on it, so it's pretty cool. You can line it up. But as it turns out, I'm going to mess with this, and it's still going to be a little crooked. But I want to show you these things because everybody has little goofs, and if we all showed you perfect videos, then there's no way to correct anything. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this, and it's going to be crooked, and I'm going to show you how to fix it here in just a minute. Also, I didn't use my powder bag. I got really lucky on this, but you really must use your powder bag. And this is Wow Gold Embossing Powder. See how lucky I got? That wouldn't normally happen. This is extra thick vellum. Now you want to heat up your heat tool a few seconds before, maybe 15 or 20 seconds before you put it to the vellum, so you can minimize the warping. But this is how I got into stamping. The miracle of this never ceases to amaze me. It just looks so beautiful and professional, and it's not hard to do. So now I'm going to just take, it can be any kind of a marker. I just happen to be using a Copic. And you flip it over and you color on the back, and you don't even have to stand the lines as long as you stay where it's embossed. And you just quickly add color to the spots that you want it. I'm speeding this up because I'm a really slow colorer. And I go over it a couple times because vellum doesn't take the pigment quite as fast, and this was kind of a light color green, and you want to really go dark for the most effect when you're coloring through the back of the vellum. And just let it dry for a second, but it's pretty quick. See, you can kind of see it, but you'll be able to see it here a little better in a bit. So the key to fixing something that's not straight is line up your word, not the bottom of the paper. And then so I'm kind of slanting the paper, but I've got the word lined up. And I'm not really measuring because we've been through this. I'm not huge on that because I have to do that all day long at work. So see, that looks pretty good. And then I just, by gosh and by golly, chop off the top, making sure that my piece was level with the edge of my ruler. I mean, I can't have it be a mess. And now we're just going to color the sides of the vellum just a hair with the green. It's very subtle, but I just have a problem with white edges on everything. I just think it looks a little more finished. So I'm going to get ready to put the adhesive on. Now put the adhesive in little spots where the actual embossing is. As you can see here, I just kind of put it all over the colored part too, and it still kind of showed. So in redoing it, I put it just where there's some, because I had to reposition anyway. So when I did, I just put it where behind the embossed part. Then I spend a little bit of time lining it up with my grid paper, trying to get it kind of centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're the only ones that would notice it. And then I'm just going to put my acrylic block over it. Doesn't take but a few minutes. I wind up having to go back and touching it up because I wasn't very liberal with the glue because I was afraid. So I'm just going to take my Teflon bone folder and really press the sides down. That would also help minimize any kind of popping up on the front. And I'm just going to take plain old Scotch tape and tape it down. And I decided that I wanted just one more piece there to make it snug. And this was just a frame. I had taken a piece of paper and I had cut out a square in the middle, and this frame was left, and I thought, well, I'm not going to throw it away. So this is what you do with stuff like that. I'm just going to apply it to the front of this card, and it's easier just to stand the card up when you know it's going to be the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to take this lacy die cut from, let's see, is that My Favorite Things, I believe? And I'm going to let the red show through, so I didn't really need but the frame. So the red's going to show through the eyelet. And now I'm going to glue on my centerpiece. Now I added at Christmas time, and somehow it didn't get on camera. So that's how that little surprise happened. And I just eyeball it and center it up. And now I got out my jewel picker, and I'm not good at it takes me a long struggle to place, things like this. So finally I decided I would just balance out one on each side of the piece, because I know you need to do it in groups of uneven numbers, so 3 or 5 or whatever, if you're going to make a grouping. And I just didn't find a place for it to work. So I kicked them all off the card, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to put a clear droplet on top. Now I'm pushing that down. If you push it down with a jewel picker, then it's still stuck on the jewel picker. So I stick, it looks like a paintbrush handle down to kind of push it there for a second, let it adhere. And here's my pretty pink posh small clear droplet. And I wound up flinging one halfway across the table. Got a little excited, I guess. So I add a little more adhesive. They're just not the easiest things to wrangle, but they really are pretty once you get them on there. And then I just put my acrylic block back over it. Let that dry. And here's the finished card. Super, super easy, really pretty. Now here are some other cards that I've done over the years with a lot more coloring on it to show you the effect, because it was kind of hard seeing that green. This one's really old, but really pretty. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to have you subscribe, comment, and click like. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. All the products are listed below and over at my blog with picture links. Have a great day. Bye-bye.